Hello, welcome to Battle Report 12 of the Mortal Realms magazine. This is Clash of Heroes, catching up a wee bit now after so long of not doing them due to the current situation, and I hope you are safe and well and your family is too. So this is basically a 2 versus 2 model game. Let's have a read of the fluff, shall we? Excuse me. The Stormcast Eternals are closing in on which they seek. One of Sigmar's Night Questors has located the tomb in which the magical item lies. As their warriors hold off the Night Haunts, the two heroes stride towards the entrance. Before they can set foot within, they are attacked. Night Questor Auric Ravenscar raised his sword and saluted Zandria Azurebolt. Knight Incanter, I believe I have found that which we seek. It is an item of great power, an arcane staff infused with death magic. Stave, even, sorry. Come, we will need your magic. We shall do Sigmar's will together. Where does the artifact lie, Night Questor? Replied Zandria, eyes glowing with magical power. The stave lies in the tomb ahead. He gestured towards the darkened entrance to a crumbling mausoleum. We must be quick before the Night Haunts sense our presence. Together they strode towards the tomb entrance, weapons readied. The ground beneath their armoured feet was soft, a carpet of rotten leaves that masked their heavy footsteps. The sound of battle could be heard through a shroud of mist that blanketed the entire tomb complex. The two warriors had nearly reached the tomb entrance when the earth before them began to shift. The ground beneath their feet had hardened with a layer of frost, which crunched beneath the armoured boots of the Stormcast Eternals. Around the entrance of the tomb, thick briars and brambles burst up, growing from the cold ground. Then a hideous cry, a ghostly form appeared amidst the thorns. Its pallid, bony face was twisted into an expression of absolute hatred. A second figure followed, emerging from the tomb, a shock of red hair framing her ghostly features. Zandria was already working her magic, staff raised into the night sky, outstretched arm crackling with blue lightning. Banshees! Let us end them. The Night Questor gestured towards the Geist with the tip of his sword and charged to meet his foe. Yeah, so this is going to be what it says, a Clash of Heroes. This is literally us doing 2-on-2 with heroes. It says here, Mighty Heroes. This playthrough uses 4 heroic characters, each with their own spells and other special abilities. Keeping track of these can be difficult in the full game. Oh my god, we're doing with just me doing this. I'm terrible when I have someone else and I'm thinking about all of it. Oh dear. Make sure you refer to the War Scrolls and the reference page during the playthrough and track their wounded markers. Will we do that already? So this is played on the Barrow. So if we enter the tomb now. And hero troop placement, place Night Quest on Zandria and the Briar Queen and the Banshee in the location shown on the map above, which is what we've got here. Okay, reference sheet, battle round. Warhammer Age of Sigmar is fought in a series of battle rounds, each of which is split into 2 turns, one for each player, which we've sort of been doing. If you can see the bottom sort of information at the bottom, we've been doing that. I coded that into this. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of talking today with recording these. Yeah, so this is like the full video I've recorded in one session. I'm not just wearing the same t-shirt for that long. Just so you know. Yeah, so it's split into 2 turns, one for each player. The first player has taken his turn, the second player takes theirs. Once the second player's turn is finished, the battle round is over and a new one begins. Turn sequence. Each turn is further broken down into a series of phases. These phases are listed in the turn sequence example to the right. So the turn sequence is hero phase, movement phase, shooting phase, charge phase, combat phase, and you will see an extra one here if you're new to this. Don't know why you join in issue 12. We watch all the others to get there. Who knows? But anyway, battle shock phase, which will be covered later on in the magazine issues, but I've got that in place already. So the sequence of play is turn, Stormcast turn, Night Haunt turn, Stormcast turn, Night Haunt turn, etc. So yeah, with the exception of the hero and combat phase, only the player whose turn it is can act during that turn. So yeah, hero phase, I believe both sides can do stuff in. Movement, only player whose turn it is. Shooting likewise, charge likewise, but combat, as we've seen in the previous videos, it alternates until all units are full, and then repeats. Combat sequence. In the combat phase, players take turns to pick a unit to fight with, starting with the player whose turn is taking place. Then it is your turn to pick. You must pick a unit to fight with. A unit can fight if it is within 3 inches of any model or has made a charge move in the same turn. No unit can fight more than once in each combat phase. If you pick a unit to fight, it piles in, and the model units must attack with melee weapons. So yes, in this case, Stormcast turn combat phase, picks unit, and then picks unit, so it fights with a unit. Then Nighthawk player picks a unit, Stormcast player picks a unit, Nighthawk player picks a unit. Turn ends. To allocate wounds, I think we don't need to read that, do we? It's just 1 wound. It's just a nice little reference sheet. So really, because this, what it is, you've got a reference sheet, and then on the other side, we've got the War Scrolls. So if you were playing, you could, if needed, which I might do, get this out, take this out. It's quite a nice little thing. So what we've got going on, we have Rend, which is a new rule for this issue. Rend. Some weapons have a Rend characteristic. This is shown on the unit's War Scroll. When the opposing player makes a save against a weapon with Rend, they must modify their save roll by the weapon's Rend characteristic. For example, if a weapon has a Rend of -1, if a weapon has a -1 Rend characteristic and the dice of 3 becomes a 2, a 4 becomes a 3, and so on. So that's interesting. So it's adjusts the save value. Ethereal, let's start at the top. So we have Exandria Azure Bolt, has 5 wounds, 3+ save, moves 5, 3 attack dice, 3 to hit, 3 to wound, -1 Rend, damage D3. She has Arcane Bolt, casting on a 5, suffers 1 mortal wound. Is this the issue where we get to learn what mortal wounds are? I don't know. Doesn't say. But I think mortal wounds do ignore, so you don't save with them, they just go straight in. I'm sure I remember reading that. I should have checked somewhere, but who knows. Okay, Sigma, Void Scroll allows Xandria to unbind 1 spell without rolling to unbind it. This scroll can only be used once per battle, so at desperation, if you need to unbind something, yeah, we're going to use that. Sigmarite Shield, this model can re-roll failed saves, however, a dice can never be re-rolled more than once. So the Knight Questor has his Sigmarite Shield, because he has a shield here. So, yeah. She has Void Scroll, Thunder Charge. So Knight Questor is 4 attack dice, blimey, 3 threes to hit and wound, -1 Rend, does 1 damage. Thunder Charge Strike, for each wound of 6, damage becomes 2, that's useful. Briar Queen, 5 wounds, 4 saves, Rending Scream, does 3 dice, to hit and to wounds 3. Rend is -3, ouch. Damage is 1. Archie does an Arcane Bolt, same as Xandria Azure Bolt. Ethereal. Okay, Ethereal. Nighthawk units are ethereal. This means that the Rend characteristic of any models are ignored. The Rend characteristic of any models are ignored when they are rolling saves. So the -1 Rend is useless at the moment for the Stormcast. That means nothing. Ouch. Then they can fly. Tomb Banshee has 4 wounds, 4+ save, move 6. Chill Dagger, 1 dice, 4 to hit, 3 to wound, -2 Rend, damage does D3. Frightful Touch, rolls of 6, we saw this in the last game we used her in, does a roll of 6 causes D3 mortal wounds. Ethereal and Fly. Okay. Ouch. Okay, so yeah, we're just on this little board here. So let's see if that's something. Okay, right. So we are turn 1. It's taken 10 minutes just to get into the game. I quite like that. More Coke. Hero phase. So Exandra can attempt to cast Arcane Bolt, and the Brian Queen may attempt to unbind it. Declare a spell, so we're going to use Arcane Bolt. Roll 2 dice. Casting value of 5, suffers 1 mortal wound. Okay. Where does that 2 dice come from? Because attempt to Arcane Bolt and Brian. Roll 2 dice and compare the casting value. Roll 2 dice and compare it to the casting value. If it equals or beats the casting value, the spell succeeds. Casting value of 5. Oh, okay. So I guess sometimes there could be a casting value of 10 if it's a really powerful spell. So you'd have to roll 2 dice and get above 10. Yeah? In the future. So I'm going to roll 2 dice. I don't. So I get a 3. So poo bums. So there's no spell. Your models can move in any direction. So we are now onto the moving phase. So so I'm going to move 5. I'm going to have to try and get into combat with these as quick as possible. So I'm going to move straight down the line, getting into 5. Shooting. Stormcast Eternals do not have any missile weapons charge phase. I am in 12 inches, so we are going to have to charge as well. So there's no shooting, but there's a charge phase. Enemies within check distance between units, roll 2 dice, add that number together. She's about 3, I'm guessing here. I know I can measure, but yeah, that's definitely a 6. So what were we? Oh, not even 3, about 2.5. So she is in. She's going to charge in like that. So now we are in combat phase, which is kind of what I wanted. I want to get as much damage done as early as possible. Pile in, moving 3 inches closer. I was already in there. Attacks. Use your war scroll values. What does she have? She has the Incanter Staff, which is 3 dice. Wow. Okay. On a 3+. Okay. So now we're on to wound. And each one of these does D3 damage. So hopefully it's 3+. So so rend. Some characters with rend shown. This makes a save against a rend. So 6. Oh, okay. So when I make a save, their rend doesn't come into effect this turn. Right. So I make a save, and she saves on a 4+. So she doesn't do it. And also, I'd have a rend of -1, which would take it down to a 1. But she is ethereal. She has a rend of minus. Yeah, I have a rend of -1, so that would adjust that down to 1. But she's ethereal, so we ignore enemy weapons when making save roll. The rend characteristic. So I ignore the rend characteristic. So I don't take it down to 1. It's still 2, but it still isn't good enough to save her. And I do D3 damage. Please be, yep, 3 points of damage. So she has 5 wounds, so we get it down to 2. So that's all right. That is all right, but I'm just trying to see this because now on the playthrough it's going into Nighthaunt turn 1. Yeah, that is it. Of course it is. Now it's the Nighthaunt player's time. The Brian Queen has unleashed her magic and shooting attacks before the combat begins. Has she? Have I missed something out here? Ah, this is complex. You move phase, but I was only Night Quest to move towards. Oh, I didn't move Night Questor in, did I? Okay, he can move. Wait. Ah, this is so. Yeah, I should have moved him, shouldn't I? Should have moved him in his movement phase. Sorry. And I can charge in. Charge phase. I could have charged in with him as well. Okay. God, this is now gone terribly confusing. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to try and charge in with him, as long as, yeah, so he's in as well. So now we're in combat phase with him, I believe. Oh, I'm just going to pause and have a look. Of course it is, it's not that complicated, is it? So, it's just because I missed this, that threw me. So that was Azur's combat turn. So now it's Nighthaunt gets a chance to do combat, and the Briar Queen is in, so she can do something. So she gets the Rending Scream. So that's 3 dice, 3+ to hit. Wow. Okay, all 3 hit. Wounds on a 3+. Wow, at 2 wounds. Azure has a save of 3, but she's on -1 rend from the Briar Queen as a -3 rend. Ouch. So effectively to save this, I've got to get 6s. So -3, that would take that down to 1. -3, that takes that down to 2. So I don't save them, I needed 3s, so yeah, that needed to be a 6. Damage is just 1, so that's 2 points of damage on Azure Lightning Bolt. Okay. Ouch. Okay, so now we're back to the combat, and this is still turn 1. Yeah, I've got it now, it's in my head. Night Questor attacks with 4 dice, 3 pluses to hit. Each wound roll, for each wound roll of a 6, damage becomes 2. That's cool. Here we go. So that's 3 to wounds. Just wounds. So we get 1 as a 6. So we get 1 6. Damage becomes 2. We rolled any failed save wounds. Okay, so now we're going to attempt to save that. So it ignores the -1 rend, so save is just 4 pluses. So she saves none of them. So that is 4 wounds, effectively due to this, becoming 2 wounds. She only has 4 wounds, so he has killed the Banshee. Excellent. So it would be the Nighthaunt's turn. Perhaps I should have done the Banshee first, knowing she was that weak. There's a little tactic. So that is it for that combat phase, because there's no battle shock now. So we're on turn 1 still of the Nighthaunt phase. So it's the hero phase for the Nighthaunt phase. The Briar Queen can cast Arcane Bolt, and Azure Bolt may attempt to unbind it. Vortium Scroll. Exandra may use this to automatically unbind 1 spell per game. I think we'll do that if she gets through. So it's 2 dice on a 5+, see if we get it. We do cast it. So cast spell, roll 2 dice, casting value for equal big spell, the spell succeeds. So Azure Bolt, score 10 or more. It does, so it would do 1 mortal wound, so I won't be able to save that. Yeah, so that does score a mortal wound, so I think we're going to use my Vortium Storm Scroll to automatically unbind it, so no wounds done. Okay, so movement phase, your moving model in any direction up to the value of move characteristic. Well, I don't think last time they weren't in combat because they failed to charge roll. I'm in combat, she can't move, so can't move, there's no shooting, there's no charging, but she's going into combat, so she could kill Azure. Xandra Azure Bolt here. So she has 3 attacks into her. Oh, that's 4. What am I doing? 3 attacks into her. They all get in. Wounds on a 3+. They all get in. This could be very bad for old Azure Bolt here. So she's only got 3 wounds left. So one of these at least needs to be a 6 due to the -3 rend. So -3 rend, saves on a 3+, so yeah, she takes 2 wounds, taking her up to 4 wounds. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, she has 5 wounds. Okay. It's combat turn now for still turn 1 combat, so Azure can hopefully get back and do some damage here with 1 wound. Ouch. 3+ to wound, gets it. Does a save, ignores -1 rend. She saves on a 4+. She saves it. Okay, but now it's still the combat phase. And am I within 3 inches? I am, so I can pile in with Night Questor. Can pile in. That's good. Old Questor can pile in. So here we go. Can we see what's going on here? It just looks like a mass of shield and ghosts. But yeah, we're in. I think we're in enough. He now, luckily here, he does 4 dice, so this could. You're the Banshee, right? So for each wound roll of 6, that's just the 2 hits. So 2 hits. This is the wound. Any of these come up 6, could spell trouble. So that's 2 hits in. So we've got a save on a 4+. We save 1. That's 1 hit. So that takes her to 3 wounds. Okay, and how many wounds does she have? She has 5. Things are looking very bad as we go into turn 2. Hero phase. Zandra is going to cast Azure Bolty Babe. She does not have the Vortrum Scroll, so she won't be able to save it. 10. That is 10, so on skill suffers more mortal wound. On a skill of 10 or more, suffers D3 mortal wounds. So it's just 1 mortal wound. Taking her to 4. Hang on. No, it doesn't. It takes her to 3, because what I forgot is she can unbind it, I believe. She can unbind it, yeah? And where's the unbindingness? Unbind. Roll 2 dice and compare. So it's 10. Roll 2 dice compared to the cast result. So it's greater than 10. It's not greater than 10 yet, so she does do 1 mortal wound, meaning the old Briar Queen has 1 wound left. As we go, no movement, no shooting, no charging, so we've already charged, we're already in charge, so we're just going into combat. And for combat, I'm picking Night Questor, just because he has 4 dice to attack with. Night Questor, not too bad. That's 3 dice to attack with. To wound, any of these are a 6, that'd be lovely. Only 1 wound, that could be enough. 4 pluses, she saves it. Okay. Briar Queen lives to fight another day. Turn 2, it's now her turn to attack. She's going for Azure Bolt. She can sense blood and death on her. 3 dice, 3 pluses. Yep, all hit. To wounds. All blooming wound, didn't they? So we're going to try and save these. All these have to be a 6. Have to get 3 6s, or she did. Oh, 1 wound goes through. That was almost good. 1 wound goes through and kills her. And I didn't think of that. I should have fought with her first, because she was weak. Ouch. Ouch. This could be a fatal mistake as we go into turn 2. Hero phase. And she is going to cast Arcane Bolt at the old Night Questor. It's a 5. That is enough. Hero phase. Sandra Bolt can cast on. Who can unbind? Is it only... Can anyone unbind? Roll 2 dice. Alexandra can attempt to cast Arcane Bolt by Green. Attempt to unbind. Unbind. Who can unbind? This is interesting. Can the Night Quest... Does the Night Quester have an unbind? Because is it just spellcasters can unbind? I can re-roll 3 save spells. It doesn't say here, and it talks about unbinding, but see if I can see anything. See if there's just something left with the Questor left. Nope. Nope. Dies near. I'm going to say I can't unbind it, so that is going to be 1 mortal wound. Okay? Because he's not a magic user, unless everything can unbind stuff. I'm going to have to read that up afterwards. I do have the actual Age of Sigmar free PDF rules, maybe it'll tell me in there. But for now, no movement, no shooting, no charging, combat. This is where it could get nasty. So it's 3 dice, 3 pluses. Oh, wrong colour. That's 2 get through, 3 pluses to wound. She does not wound. But now he can attack back with 4 dice. He only needs 1 of these to be successful. That's good. 3 to wound rolls being made. Okay, 2 get through. 2 saves and a 4+. Any of these are under 4. Night Questor will kill her. Well, they're both under 4. So she's out of there. And Night Questor wins. Saves the day for the Stormcasts. Okay, well, yeah, alright. Apart from the Unbind, which I got a wee bit confused about, got a bit lost there with the Unbind. That seemed to work for me. Thoroughly enjoyed that one as well. Mortal Wounds, here we go. Turn 2, Mortal Wounds. Some attacks and spells and abilities inflict mortal wounds. Do not make hit, wound or save rolls for mortal wounds. Instead, the damage inflicted on the target is equal to the number of mortal wounds they suffered. Yeah, so I have been playing that right. Mortal wounds just go straight through. The difficulty is when you're trying to play this and read at the same time. You don't want me just looking at rule books for ages, and plus it does disrupt the flow of play as well. I can't quickly see anything here about that Unbind, whether the Questor has an Unbind, but I played it that he didn't. And so Night Questor, he is victorious champion of the day. He saves the he's going to get the stave thereafter. So that is it for this week's both battle reports. What we've got next time, looks like we're going back on the big ball with the terrain, so that would be nice. That's 13 and 14 again, same big board and mausoleum terrain, so that's 1. Should be easy to set up. So yeah, that's it for this week. Until next time guys, please take care. See you later.